Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again. Today, we are again going to practice or going to learn grammar, and in grammar, we are going to learn tenses, one of the most hot topics that most of the students lack in, or most of the students they face problems in writing sentences appropriately in the form of tenses. So let's have a look at this today, right? So what I did right now, I wrote all the tenses name right in front of you. And the first one is present indefinite tense, present continuous tense, present perfect, and present perfect continuous tense. So there are three conditions actually in English: present, past, and future, right? So there are four conditions in each these, or four subtypes in each these three conditions. Present, there are four subtype of present, and past it has also four, and in the future there are four situations as well that we are to study today, right? So if we talk about the tense, before we go deeper into the tense, you need to know the structure of English, that how English is written, right, or how English sentences are written, or what exactly the really structure of English sentence is. The structure of English sentence is subject plus verb plus object, right? So there are actually, if we talk about the subject, right, there are actually eight words that can work as the part of subject. Most of the learners, when they learn tenses, they do not know that where to place subject or where to place object, what is the position of subject, verb, and object, or what words can be worked as subject, or what words can be worked as verb or object. So if we talk about subject, there are actually eight words that can work as subject. For example, he, she, it, noun, it can be singular or a plural noun, I, we, you, they. Okay. So these are the words which can work as the part of subject, right? So these are the words which will be used, always will be used as a subject, but sometimes they can be used as an object, but if the sentence is passive, or there are some of the situations. But if you're talking about tenses, right, yes, these words should have been used at the beginning of a sentence in the form of a subject. Now, if we talk about object, object means that anything that you are to talk about, or that you are, let's say, that working on. So object can be anything. It can be an object. It can be a person. It can be like any activity, or it can be anything that you are working on. Now, one of the most hot thing, or one of the most panic things for most of the learner, that is what we call a verb. Actually, verb is the lifeblood of English language. It means that no verb, no sentence in English. So what does it mean? It means that verb is the most important factor in English language. So verb, let's study the verb, that what exactly. I'm not gonna let you know the types of the verb, because today's topic is not verb. The today's topic is to learn tense. So we are not going to get into the verb anymore, but only just, the main part of it, just the main idea, that what exactly the verb really is, right? Okay. So verb, if we talk about the verb, there are actually three forms of verbs in English language. The first one is the base form of verb, that is what, let's say that I wrote a verb, that is play. Is second form of verb is played, and the third form of verb is also played. And there is another form of verb, that is what we call ing form of verb, or we can say gerund or participle, right? That is playing. So in English, whatever the verb you take, all of those verbs have four forms, right? So what I just mentioned earlier, that verb is the lifeblood of English language, or we can say that without verb, no sentence can be made. Without verb, your sentence is incomplete. You can make a sentence without subject or without an object, but without verb, you can't make a proper sentence, right? So there are four, we can say, types of verb. Not the type, there are four actually, number of verbs, like play, played, played, or playing, go, went, gone, or going, come, came, come, or coming. So whatever the verb you take, it has four conditions actually, right? So what I mentioned, that verb is most important part. There are 12 tenses in English. If the tenses are 12, and as I already told, that verb is the main part, it must be used in every tense. So the verb condition should have also been somewhere, or something like 12 verbs should be there, but there are only four verbs. What does it mean? It means that these four verbs will be used all these 12 tenses. It means that these verbs will be repeated in different tenses. Let's say that, for example, uh, future continuous and future perfect continuous. For example, these two tenses take the same form of verb. Let's say if I say that future continuous or future perfect continuous, these two tenses take verb ing form of verb, right? Let's take an example of it. So how can we differentiate between these two tenses if these two tenses are taking same form of verb? So how can we differentiate between these two tenses, because these two tenses are taking same form of verb? So how to differentiate? There are some other verbs, that is what we call helping verb, apart from the main verb. These are the main verbs: play, played, played, or playing, or we can say these are action verbs. So there are some other verbs that what we call linking verb or helping verb. What those verbs are, for example, is, am, are, was, were, will, shall, do, does, did, has, have, had, etc. Right? These are some of the helping verbs. These helping verbs decide that what tense it is, whether it's present tense, past tense, or a future tense. So these helping verbs would decide. So let's have a look at the structure of all these tenses, that what exactly the structure of these tenses really are. Let's have a look at the continuous tenses. I'm gonna tell you all these tenses and their structure within 30 minutes. So what are the structures of these tenses? And there are six tenses here which are continuous tenses. Let me highlight those tenses. Present continuous, first one. Present perfect continuous, second. Past continuous, third. Past perfect continuous, fourth. Future continuous, fifth. Future perfect continuous, sixth. So these six tenses are continuous tenses. Now, as I already mentioned, that subject can be these words, object can be anything. So the sequence of English sentence structure is this one, right? So these are the words which can be used as a part of the subject, or object can be anything. So what would change? Your verb would change. Okay, so English is all about the verb remembrance. You are to remember the verb, that whether according to the verb, you will be able to understand whether it's present, past, or a future tense. Right. So there are six continuous tenses. What I have already highlighted. These three continuous tenses, or six, sorry to say, six continuous tenses will always take ing form of verb. Okay, right? Continuous tenses will always take ing form of verb. There are six tenses of continuous, all of these six tenses will take ing form of verb. Now, how can we differentiate that, whether it's present tense, whether it's past or future? So how can we differentiate? By helping verb. Okay, so let's write down the structure of all these tenses. Maybe can, or I should write over here, present continuous tense. What's its structure? Right, if you know the structure, please write the structure in the comment box so that I can understand whether you know it or not. Though, so present continuous tense structure is subject, right? Subject at the beginning, then the verb. Verb, like what I mentioned, that continuous tenses will always take ing form of verb, right? So the helping verb here is, am, or are plus base form plus ing and at the end object. Okay, so this is a structure of present continuous tense. Present mean like which is present currently right now, which is happening right now. Continuous mean that is like moving on, going on, moving forward. So present continuous tense structure is something like subject is, am, or are plus base form of verb plus ing and object. Okay, so where to place is, am, or are. For example, like he, she, it, or a noun, it would take is, I would take am, we, you, they would take are. Okay, I hope it's clear for everyone. Okay, now present perfect continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense structure. What exactly its structure is? Its structure is something like subject plus has or have plus been plus base form or first form plus ing plus object plus since or for. Okay, and you know that where to use since and where to use for an exact period of time we use since. For a time or for a moment where we do not know the exactness of time, we use for. Okay, right, so this is the structure of present perfect continuous. Subject plus has or have plus been plus base form plus ing object and since or for, right? So now where to place has or where to place have, right? For he, she, it, or a singular noun, what we do? We use has. For I, we, you, they, what we do? We use have. Okay. Now we are to move forward to the next one, that is the past. That is what we call past continuous tense. In the past continuous tense, what exactly really the structure is, or past continuous, the structure is something like subject plus was or were plus base form, or we can say first form plus ing plus object. So this is the structure of present past continuous tense. The past mean something which has gone or which was moving or which was happening in the past. Okay, so I have mentioned the structure. So where to use was and where to use were. He, she, it, or with a noun we use was, and also I we use was. We, you, they we use were. Okay, now that next one is past perfect continuous tense. In the past perfect continuous tense, what exactly the structure is? Subject plus had plus been plus base for base form plus ing or we can say first form plus ing plus object, and since far. Okay, so you already know where to use since and where to use far. For exactness of time, where exact time is mentioned, for example, since morning, since afternoon, since Monday, since Friday, since 2019, etc., we use since. For many days, for many years, for some time, etc., we use for. Now, future continuous tense. The structure of future continuous tense is subject plus will or shall. All these future tenses will always take will or shall along with them. Will or shall plus be plus base form or first form plus ing and object. So this is the structure of future continuous tense. So where to use will or where to use shall? We will take shall, and apart from we and the rest of the noun pronouns will take will, right? He, she, it, noun, you, they will take will, right? We will take shall along with it, right? Okay, now future perfect continuous tense. Okay, future perfect continuous tense. The structure of it is subject plus will, shall plus have plus been plus base form, or we can say first form plus ing, uh, ing form of verb, since or for, right, at the end of future perfect continuous tense. Okay, so now you come to understand that all the continuous tenses, what they do, they take ing form of verb along with them. Present continuous tense, first form plus ing, or gerund, what we can say, ing form of verb. Present perfect continuous, it takes first form plus ing form. Past continuous tense, first form plus ing. Past perfect continuous tense, first form plus ing. Future continuous tense, first form plus ing. Future perfect continuous tense, first form plus ing. So all these six continuous tenses, they take ing form of verb with them. And what makes the difference? These helping verbs makes the difference. And you can note that, or you can have a look at that, all these tenses, they all are taking different helping verb along with them. Present continuous is taking is mr as an helping verb. Present perfect continuous is taking has been, have been as an helping verb. Past continuous tense is taking was, were as an helping verb. Past perfect continuous is taking had been as an helping verb. Future continuous is taking will, shall plus be as an helping verb. And future perfect continuous will have been, shall have been as an helping verb. Okay, now we have already gone through six tenses. Now we have left with six tenses. So all these six tenses, have a look at the remaining six tenses. Now highlight the perfect tenses now. Present perfect tense, I've already highlighted. Present perfect tense, past perfect tense, and future perfect tense. Okay, so perfect tenses, they all take the third form of verb, or we can say has participle along with them. Okay, the third form of verb. Perfect tenses always take third form of verb along with them. Okay, so now have a look at the present perfect tense. Present perfect tense, subject plus has or have as an helping verb. Then third form of verb, or what we say is called past participle. You may know the participle. The third form of verb is also called past participle, and you know that what is participle is, right? What exactly the participle word grammatically is. Participle is like when you are using the verb as an adjective, what we call is participle, right? There are three types of participle. We're not gonna get into that kind of rule of participle. We are just only having a look at the tenses, right? So present perfect tense, the structure is this, okay? Past perfect tense, this is past perfect tense. Subject plus had as an helping verb plus third form and at the end object, okay? And the future perfect tense, subject plus will or shall plus have plus third form of verb and object. So this is what we have from perfect tenses: present perfect, past perfect, and future perfect. And what forms they take along with them? These perfect tenses, they take third form of verb, and the helping verb is different. Okay. Now we are left with three tenses, that is what we call indefinite tense or indefinite tenses, okay? Present indefinite, past indefinite, and future indefinite tense, right? We are still left with two form of verb. Six tenses take ing form, three tenses take third form of verb, and the three remaining tenses, what they take, actually we have left with two form of verb: present indefinite and past in future indefinite. Present indefinite and future indefinite will take first form of verb, okay, and past indefinite would take second form of verb. No English tense takes second form of verb apart from past indefinite simple sentences. Past indefinite simple sentences take second form of verb, but if you are to make the negatives of it, what you do or you use did plus first form of verb. Now present indefinite tense, subject plus first form of verb or base form of verb plus s or es plus object. Now where to use s or where to use es in singular? He, she, it, or singular noun takes first form plus s or es. Where to take s or where to take es? O X double S C H O S H. If these alphabets come at the end of any verb, we use ES rather than using S. So where to use S or ES? We use with the singular subjects S or ES. Now where to use S or where to use ES? If these alphabets comes at the end of any verb, we're talking about verb, right? At the end of any verb, we use ES. Apart from this, what we do, we use only S with the singular subject. Okay, with the plural subject, what we do, we only use first form of verb or the base form of verb. We do not add S or ES with plural subject, these plural subjects, okay, right? So if you are to make the negatives of present indefinite tense, what you do, you use do or does, and you use base form of verb, whether your subject is singular, whether your subject is plural. What you have to do, you have to use do or does plus first form of verb. He, she, it, or a singular noun take does. I, we, you, they take do along with them. But with all these, if you're making negative or interrogative sentences, what you do, you use first form of verb rather than using first form plus s or es in negative and interrogative sentences. Okay. Now, past indefinite tense. In the past indefinite tense, what you do, subject plus second form of verb and object. Okay. For simple sentences, we will use second form of verb. For negative or interrogative, we use did plus first form of verb. Only in English, only one tense take second form of verb, and that is past indefinite simple sentence. No negative, no interrogative. Only simple sentences would take second form of verb. If we are to write negative or interrogative of past indefinite, you use did as an helping verb and the base form of verb or the first form of verb, right? We do not use second form or we do not use third form. Only past indefinite simple sentences take second form of verb. Negative and interrogative would take first form of verb after did. Now, future indefinite tense. Future indefinite tense, subject plus will or shall and base form of verb plus object, right? And I already told you that where to use will or shall. I, we will take shall, and the remaining subjects will take, or remaining pronoun will take will along with them. Okay, so I, we, subject plus will or shall plus first one plus object. So this is what we have from future indefinite tense.